Welcome back to the Book Barn. I'm Lainey, and today I am joined by two returning guests, my dear friends Teri. Hi, Teri.
Hi.
And Karin. Hello.
Hello.
We are taking a deep dive into a book that Karin recommended. We're discussing The Extraordinary Deaths of Mrs. Kipp by Sara Brunsvold. Do you think that's the right last name?
I think that's the way to pronounce it.
It's a Christie Award-winning Christian fiction novel. What'd you think?
I really liked it. I thought it was really cute. Very sweet story.
And how about you? You read it twice,
yes,
right?
This is the second time I've read it, and I loved it. The first time I read it, the second time I listened to it on the audio. And so I love listening to the characters. It's so fun.
Nice. Exceeded my expectations.
Yay!
Yay! I had no idea what to expect, I guess, but it was good. Really good. So I'm excited to talk about it. Before we dive in, though, I need to read the synopsis. Aidan Kelly is an ambitious young reporter for the Kansas City Star and is assigned to what she considers a dull obituary for a hospice patient named Clara Kipp. But as Aidan spends time with the spirited 79-year-old woman, she discovers a remarkable life filled with faith, sacrifice, love, and purpose. Through Clara's stories, Aidan begins to question her own definition of success and what truly matters in life. Let's start by talking about Aidan's work. The newsroom feels very competitive, with coworkers often treating each other more like rivals instead of, working together as a team. How do you describe your own work environments? Is it more collaborative or is it more competitive? What do you think, Teri?
I agree. It shocked me how she was treated at work. I guess just because my experience at work is completely opposite. We work in a school, so we're always about helping kids, mostly, but helping each other. And they were not about helping her.
No.
I felt sorry for her when she had to go to work. I was like, oh, they're going to be so mean.
Right. What are your thoughts, Karen?
Oh, yes, I agree. In the school work environment, you're trying to help each other get through the day and help the kids. And you can see how, even though it would have been nice for her to have that support, in that field, you're probably trying to be the best reporter and get the next assignment. And so you're competing against each other instead of helping each other.
And you work now at a Christian bookstore, and I bet the atmosphere there is lovely.
Yes. So now that I'm retired, I am just working 2 days a week in the afternoon at a little Christian bookstore that sells this book.
Awesome. At first, I thought the book was set in Kansas. But then I looked it up, and the Star, the newspaper, is actually in Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. But I thought Clara was a hoot. Did you guys love Clara?
Yes, I loved Clara.
The book presents two very different views of success through Aidan and Clara. How are they alike, and how are they different?
Well, I said that I think they were both determined to reach their goals, and they had a hard work ethic, and that age and life experience was their main differences, I think.
That's a good answer, yeah.
I feel like Aidan set out she had a goal. She set out to become a reporter and become a journalist. And I don't feel like Clara maybe had that goal, but was equally as successful. Like she didn't have the aspire to be the best in my field at this and this and this, but she was great at what she did. And it was important work also.
With Clara, things happen for a reason, and her life just kind of...
But she also would let God lead her, and Aidan tried to make her own plan, and even that's shows you how God works his way, whether it's your plan or not.
Very good. That's what I was trying to get at. So I put down that Aidan was clawing her way up the ladder to success, while Clara, it came naturally through service for her. It said Aidan was an ardent rule follower, Even though she kind of didn't follow etiquette when she wrote the email at work to the big boss instead of going through the chain of command, that did get her into a little bit of trouble. Do you guys consider yourself rule followers, selective rule followers, or are you someone that believes rules are more like suggestions? I already know Karen's, I
Yeah,
think.
I'm a rule follower.
Yeah,
Yes.
I knew that.
I really am too. I'm a rule follower too. I like to have a clear do this, don't do this, don't do this.
Right.
I stay right in the middle there.
I am such a rule follower that if I'm told that we can only wear jeans on Friday, I am only wearing jeans on Friday. And years ago, I was kind of not reprimanded, but my principal said something to me about having gum. Well, what he didn't know was I had gum because I didn't feel well, and it was kind of helping my throat. But the rule at school was no gum. And to this day, I see teachers giving gum to their kids.
Oh,
I
yes.
see teachers with gum, but I just can't do it. It's against the rules, guys.
There's a lot of rules that have been thrown out the window.
Aiden is fearful of death, while Clara faces it with peace and confidence. What do you think is at the root of that difference?
So, again, I was thinking about the age difference, the life experience. And then I think at this point, Clara's strong conviction of her relationship with God, she knows where she's going. She's secure in her eternity. So her faith is what helps her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of that has to do with her age too. Clara has lived an amazing life and she's ready for the next chapter.
She has someone to join.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that does help, maybe, to come to grips with that. I quoted in my notes that Mrs. Kipp saw the world in colors that Aiden could not discern. And I thought that was a good line. Mrs. Kipp's time with Charles could be triggering if you've ever watched a loved one go through hospice care. I did lose my dad that way, and I was surprised that it didn't trigger me. It actually brought me more smiles than it did tears. But, that's a hard thing to go through when you watch
Yes.
someone die that way, and watching Charles and hearing how he died. But he had a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that made the difference. So I didn't hate that part of the book. Yeah, I didn't hate it at all.
And when I think about that part of the book, I think not as a family member, but my daughter works in a nursing care facility and she just loves sitting with these people and listening to their stories. And so I know that's not the case everywhere, but I'm hopeful that in most of those places there are a few that want to hear the stories and want to, because that does make it easier for them. They feel like they're imparting a little wisdom or a little knowledge and then they can move on, pass on.
Right. And Clara, she was determined, boy. They told her to, not do that.
Yes.
Right.
And they're not going to tell her what to do.
No.
She was a little firecracker.
Mhm.
So let's pause for a moment and share a few quotes. Did you guys write down a quote that you liked?
I did. I almost forgot to do this. And then I wrote down authentic love is the greatest joy. And then never underestimate the life-changing gift of friendship. Those were two I wrote down.
Those are good.
I had them, but my book went back to Hoopla and I lost them.
Boo, Hoopla.
I know.
Okay, I'm going to be real honest here. I don't know that I've ever wrote down so many quotes that I wanted to share. So that says something about this writer. I have several. On page 91, I loved this so much. A leaf is a silent proverb. Did you ever consider that? When it buds on the tree, people rejoice. Throughout its prime, they love it for the shade it provides, but only when it reaches the end of its time on the tree does its brilliance come through. Sometimes yellow, sometimes orange, sometimes deep red, dazzling in its artistry. Like a drop of sunset you can see at all hours of the day. Clara smiled. A leaf has the most extraordinary death. There is so much beauty to it.
That's a great one.
Holy schmoly.
That was a good one.
So good. And on page 131, well, I'm not one to judge a lapse in personal devotions. Life has a way of stealing our attention for seasons. The good news is, though we sometimes find ourselves out of the Word always remains in us. I bet you know the 23rd Psalms by heart. Yes?
Yes.
Do you know that one?
Yes.
I know you do. What is it?
Do I have to say it?
Yes.
So I got to think, because I'm usually doing it by myself. So, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Now that I'm doing it.
I am so impressed, though. I just wanted the Lord as my shepherd.
And then at the end, so I'm messing up there, but at the end, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Usually I'm repeating those to myself so I won't forget.
The word is I messed up. Amen to that. Good job. That was great. On page 149, they said, I did a lot of hard things, but hard things usually end in the biggest blessings. That one really hit me hard. Yes. And on page 214, it helps to be a little crazy friend, makes life more fun. I love that. And then the last one for me on page 262, the Lord hides his warriors in the most surprising places.
That's true.
I'm telling you, this book is just full of that.
You need to read all of her books.
Yes. Clara tells Aiden that authentic love requires 1,000 little deaths to self. What do you think she means by that?
Well, I said caring about others in such a way that puts their needs and desires and feelings above our own, but also not to diminish ourselves, because sometimes when you're doing that, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't give.
Right.
So,
Right. To be selfless. Yeah, I agree.
In Claire's case, her life had a little death within itself when that little baby Elijah in the hospital died. And then, of course, Charles, when he was across the hall, a little part of her probably went with him too. Mm-hmm. And so I got what the title of the book meant for sure. Dying alone in a nursing home. That's incorrect. We need to fix that. That's not right. She tells Aiden to use her love wisely, to give it away for its intended purpose, and don't be afraid to risk loss. How does that make you feel?
It's true. You try to guard your heart, but if you do that, you miss out.
Yeah. I think about people that, they're, okay, I know that we marry and we're supposed to stay married, whatever, we are. But if that doesn't happen, do you give up on love altogether? I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know that it's giving up. I mean, it's probably being open to the possibility that God would bring love back into your life.
Right. That's what I think.
So yeah, don't shut your heart off. But I mean, I don't think you have to go chase it either.
Yeah. Okay. Any thoughts on that, Karen?
Yeah, I agree. I was just thinking God can bring love in different ways. Like she poured herself into her friends and those babies.
Yes.
And so she didn't chase another love.
Yeah. She had enough.
So she was fulfilled.
Yeah. Clara intentionally pours time, wisdom, and prayer into Aiden. Why do you think investing in younger generations was so important to her?
I think maybe that's because that's what she spent her whole life doing. And
yes.
she knew the value in giving that wisdom to pass it on.
Yeah. I think about our job as teachers. We have between the three of us, we have a lot of years of experience. And then those new teachers come into our world. And it is kind of fun to know that some of what you do, some of what you've worked so hard to accomplish will continue on because you're, sharing that with the younger generation? I don't know.
So I just said, she saw it as God's will to pour wisdom and love into the next generation, to sow seeds for others to grow, like teachers who poured into me, special aunt and friends who have poured into me at different times in my life, especially when times were rough or difficult in life.
Has anyone poured into you? Do you specifically?
Well, I mean, I think about that, and maybe not even to my knowledge. I know I have some wonderful people in my life that I don't talk to them every day, but I know they pray for me, and that gives me comfort. And
me too.
I know that they're there and they're doing that, so I don't have to worry about things.
Yeah. Back in yesteryear, my grandma poured into me so much. But you're right. It's my friends and my family that pour into me daily. So I'm thankful. Have you ever sat down and listened to someone from an older generation, we kind of covered this a minute ago, tell their life story, and what did you learn from them?
I haven't. I mean, we didn't live close to grandparents because of all the moving and traveling. So I don't feel like I can say that I've experienced that.
So I think it's funny, and I'm probably going to say this all backwards, but I didn't know a lot about my dad growing up, but he loves to tell the stories to my sons. So maybe it's a grandpa and a grandson thing. So I get to sit, back in the back and listen to him tell his grandsons these stories about when he was younger. And maybe it's just because it's ornery or whatever it is. But I guess I do get to listen to somebody tell their life story a little bit. Maybe not to me, but I'm listening.
That's really funny because I find myself telling my granddaughters lots of stories as well.
And I think it's because maybe he thinks, well, you've been here. You know my life, because he raised me, but the things that happened before we were born. But the grandkids, they weren't there, I don't know, in those years. So they get to hear the stories fresh.
Very cool. I remember Shane when he was maybe in 6th grade, possibly. One of the teachers assigned an assignment where they had to go talk to a veteran. And I drove him to Parsons to see my great Uncle Denny, who was a World War II vet. And I just dropped Shane off and went and ran errands and then came back and got him. I so wish I had stayed. And Shane, to this day, remembers those stories.
That's
and
awesome.
Uncle Denny even brought out like the picture albums and showed him pictures. And yeah, what a treasure.
Well, and I think sometimes we don't ask to hear those stories because we don't want to bring up bad memories.
And he didn't talk about it hardly ever. So You're right.
And that's why we don't ask, and that's why we don't know.
We don't know.
Okay, so that just reminded me of something, which I didn't even think about it this way. So even though I didn't sit at their feet, I have a great aunt. So my dad had his mom, and then she had 3 sisters, and my dad was the only child. So this aunt, who was in World War II as a nurse in Europe, she actually gave me so much memorabilia and written stories of her life and her mother. I forgot all about that. So I didn't necessarily sit at her feet, but I have all of this history. I even have my great-grandparents' marriage certificate.
Oh, cool.
Like, there's so many things. So
That makes me think of those postcards that I told you all about
Yes,
the
'cause
last time you were here.
yes, and I have some of those postcards.
So cool to go back and
I
just
forgot about that.
read about their lives. Clara is someone Aiden will never forget. What is it about Clara that will stay with you long after finishing the book? And we talked about this just a minute ago because some books don't stick with us. I kind of think this one might for me. But what is it about Clara that you would remember?
She just possesses a lot of qualities that I would love to have or want to be when I grow up. When I get to be a, how did they say it? I can't say it. Septuagenarian?
That sounds good to me.
Wow, it was a big word. And I was like, I don't even know if I could pronounce that. But she had a lot of qualities, a lot of characteristics that I would like to have. I hope to have someday.
Very inspirational.
Very.
Yes.
Yes. And I just said that she fought hard for the people that she loved and worked tirelessly to help them with their problems and improve their lives. And of course, that spunky spirit.
Oh, yes.
Just and loving life till the very end. Like she wanted that little scooter to go like a motorcycle. So yeah, that was awesome.
I wrote those things down as well. I put her wisdom, her faith, her humor. So, yes, she did leave a legacy. This quote I found, "You have to be the friend people need while they are there with you because it's the only chance you'll get." So, lots of great quotes in this book. At the end of the novel, Aiden discovers the perfect final line for Clara's obituary. This is tough, girls. If you could write the final line of your obituary, what would you want it to say?
Well, I started off with she truly cared about others and wanted to help them. She was a true and loyal friend.
So true. It's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, she was kind. That's it. She was kind.
I put she was a devoted and loving wife, a proud mother who raised 3 remarkable sons, and a cherished G-mama.
That's good. That's good.
This book shines a light on experiences of refugees and immigrants. In today's world, where immigration is often in the headlines, did the story change or deepen your perspective in any way?
I just said, I didn't realize there had been that immigrant crisis in Kansas City at that time, and that it definitely deepened my perspective of their plight, the plight of the immigrant, and their need to flee their broken countries.
And I also didn't know about that, but I was glad that there were people willing to help and bring them into their church and get them established. And
Right.
I mean,
being good Christians.
right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
sometimes it's not that you don't want to help or don't care; it's that we just don't know.
Right.
I live in a small town, and I just do what I do every day, and I wouldn't have known to go help them. So I'm glad that they were there.
Yeah, me too. Good answers, ladies. On page 27, we see a heartbreaking scene as Clara drinks John's scotch and listens to their favorite song, "As Long as I Have You." Music clearly holds special memories and emotions for her. Do you and your spouse have a special song? And if so, what is it and why is it meaningful to you? You're smiling.
Oh, goodness. My husband loves music. I mean, he just loves music. So any genre, any music, it goes back to him. And I can think of a place where we were, where I see him singing that song, or I hear him playing that song, and he has a reputation for never letting a whole song play. And he's always the DJ in every group that we're in. Scott brings his phone and he brings his speaker and he plays the music. And it's just kind of part of his personality. So, I mean, I can't think of one song right off the top of my head, but he loves music. So, yes, music's very important at our house.
So we don't necessarily have a special song, but there were some George Strait songs that were popular in that time period. And I wasn't necessarily a country person as far as music. And so, but I remember those fondly.
Yes.
So
And I saw him in concert, and
we
it was
actually
amazing.
did. We actually got to too.
All George Strait has to do is stand at the mic. That's it.
And that's all
That
he does.
and
Look-
sing.
and look
Yes. Sing and look good. For me, I put down "Let's Stay Together," the song by Al Green from 1972. Whenever that plays, I just want to dance with Mike. And anything by Hall & Oates makes me think of him because we've been to several of their concerts. Do you have a personal favorite song, not connected to your husband?
No, not that I can think of off the top of my head. We just listen to a lot of music.
Okay.
And I'm kind of the same way, but thinking about, the 80s songs, like the one-hit wonder songs, that's kind of where we were. Girl bands like the Go-Go's, the Bangles, but now I just listen to a lot of worship music. There's a band called Shane and Shane. And so I don't know if you've heard of them, but
Yes.
so
Nice. Okay. I put down "Don't You Forget About Me" by Simple Minds, 1985. That song gets me every time. Yes. She's putting up the fist. And also I put down anything by Elton John. I love Elton John, and I went and saw him in concert too, and it was amazing. That's probably the best concert I've ever been to, is Elton John. So good. Aiden's favorite coffee shop, Homer's Coffee House, is a real Kansas City coffee shop known for supporting Christian ministries. I think we should go. But right now, girls, I want to talk cookies. Clara loves snatching chocolate chip cookies and even shared them with Charles. No time is the wrong time for cookies, honey. The author later shared in an email that she puts out that Clara's famous chocolate chip cookies are based on a modified Nestle Toll House recipe with extra brown sugar and extra chocolate chips. What's your favorite cookie?
Chocolate chip cookies are hard to make. I don't know if you know this, but they are. They have to be the right temperature when you bake them. So I love chocolate chip cookies, but I do not make them unless I buy like the already made ones.
I did not know that.
It's hard.
Okay.
It is. If the butter is not the right temperature, then they melt and they go all over your pan. And they're difficult. So I don't make them. I love them, but I don't make them. My kids love sugar cookies. I make sugar cookies.
You do make a
Yes, you
wonderful
make the best.
sugar cookie.
Thank you.
Sure.
I'll take yours over Walmart anytime.
Thank
Me
you.
too. What about you, Karen? What's your favorite?
A freshly baked chocolate chip cookie. I mean, it's just warm out of the oven. It's just perfect. But I'm trying to stay away from that kind of stuff right now. And so I've got an oatmeal chocolate cookie that is just as gooey. So it's awesome.
My grandma used to make oatmeal raisin cookies, and I've tried. I can't replicate it.
Oh,
I know. It's so sad. In her younger years, Mrs. Kipp made sure her friends had their favorite cookie on their birthday. Teri, that reminds me of you because every year I get my little bag of no-bake cookies, which are one of my favorites. So this book reminded me of you.
Oh, good.
I did look into the author. She has said she's inspired by humble women of God who recognize God's fingerprints in ordinary moments. She lives in Kansas City, Missouri with her family and is often found writing in parks and libraries around the city. And she's agreed to be a guest on this podcast.
Yay! That's awesome.
So excited. So, Karen's going to help co-host that. So
That'll be fun. I can't wait.
Super exciting. This book reminds us that a successful life isn't measured by fame, wealth, or accomplishments, but by the people we've loved, the lives we've influenced, and the faith we've lived out. So I want to thank you, Karen, for this book. I can't say that I won't read it again. I loved it that much. So
Listen to it. You'll love the spunkiness of Clara.
I love that. And thank you, Teri, for another thoughtful discussion. We're going to get you back in here real soon.
Thank you for having me.
I love having you. So we've got to do this. What's your rating?
5 stars.
Yeah, definitely 5.
I'd say 5 as well. The Extraordinary Deaths of Mrs. Kipp. Write it down. It is gold. Until next time, I'm Lainey.
I'm Karen.
I'm Teri.
And keep those bookmarks handy because there's always another great story waiting just around the corner.